Hello guys and welcome back to Reading Club. Today I'm going to read you Franny K.Stein, Mad Scientist, Frantastic Voyage, Chapter 9 to Chapter 12. Chapter 9. It's not something you want to do. Franny began putting on a special suit. This will protect me from the various horrible juices inside a dog. Igor scowled. No hard feelings, Igor. But if you think you stink on the outside, take a whiff of one of your disgusting dog burps sometime. This is a fantastically unbelievable voyage I'm going on, but it's no pleasure cruise in there. Igor smelled his own breath. He had to agree with Franny. He was probably even worse on the inside. Here's my plan. First, I'll use my shrinkerizer to miniaturize myself. Then, I want you to carefully sniff me right up your nose. Igor pointed at his mouth. No, not your mouth. I'm going in through your nose. I can't trust those teeth of yours. You could accidentally bite me in half. Franny pointed at a chart of Igor's body. Once inside your nose, I'll make my way down your throat to your stomach. Igor handed her a flashlight. Good thinking, Igor, but my suit is glow in the dark, and that will light my way. When I get to your stomach, I'll find the device, open it up, and deactivate it. This screwdriver is all I need. Now, about getting back out, Franny began. Igor looked a little nervous. After I find the device and deactivate it, I'll call you on this walkie-talkie. When you just lie down on your stomach, and that'll make it easy for me to roll the device out like a big ball. I'll just walk right back out your nose. Igor nodded in agreement. Then I'll reverse the shrinkerizer with this remote control, enlarge to my normal size, and everything will be back just fine. I'll also be able to watch you on this little screen on my wrist, just to make sure you're okay through the procedure. You can even sit here and watch your dumb TV while you wait. Igor clapped his little paws together. Franny checked her watch. There was less than 45 minutes left. Everything seems to be in order, she said. What could go wrong? Chapter 10. Looking up an old friend. Franny pressed a button and stood in front of the shrinkerizer. Igor watched as she shrank down to almost nothing. Igor gently crept up and positioned his nose carefully. Franny looked up his giant nose and braced herself. With one giant snort, she was sucked up inside his tremendous nostril. Some people in her situation might get the willies. Some people might get the creeps. Some people might run home, jump in the bathtub, and never ever stop washing. But Franny didn't really mind walking around inside a dog's nose. It's kind of like a cave, she thought. A big, slippery, boogery cave. Her feet made slopey, squishy sounds as she trotted along, and she thought about how she might actually have had fun in there if she had more time. Chapter 11. Let's get the snuts behind us. Franny stood at the edge of Igor's snisses, looking down into his deep, dark throat. It was important that she went down his esophagus, or she could wind up in one of his lungs. She checked the screen on her wrist and saw Igor staring at the television. A bomb was about to go off in his stomach, and a little girl was walking around up his nose, and he couldn't care about anything but the show he was watching. I never should have given him that TV, Franny said. Franny backed up a few steps to get a running start. She hurled herself off the edge and tumbled down Igor's throat. It was a much longer fall than she had expected, and she realized that it was going to be a very long walk back out. Eventually, she landed with a thick, mucky splash in the stomach. Looking around, all she could think about was how truly lovely the inside of a dog's nose is when compared to the inside of a stomach. Chapter 12. Your stomach is bothering me. The contents of Vigor's stomach was truly a disgusting spectacle to behold. As Franny floated around in a wad of donuts, she saw grapes, pizza chunks, and bites of hot dog churning around in a sea of partly digested gunk. Stalactites of dog food dripped gravely onto the bits of chew toy and clumps of hair that bobbed around in the swirling currents of gobbled up food. Franny could see all sorts of odd things that Igor had swallowed, including what was probably a part of a shoelace and a tiny foot off a plastic doll. She couldn't see the doomsday device anywhere. She thought it might be below the surface. Last one in is a rotten egg, she said, just as a rotten egg floated past. She checked her watch again and jumped in. Well, that's the end of this channel. If you liked it, please click many likes and subscribe Reading Club. I'll come back later with a new and improved channel. Bye, everybody!